Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the Fortunate Fortune Teller, where I'm very fortunate to be your fortune teller for this wonderful, beautiful afternoon. Okay? It's 10 short. Somebody's got an ending here, so let's just see what's going on. Perhaps maybe these cards will tell us a little something. There's some judgment here, it's saying. Okay? Well, we're selenite. Get a little couple other things here. Illusions. That's nice, right? Page of Cups, new love, intuitive messages, whatever. Let's see what happens. That's the way I look at it. So I have this download, perhaps, that, like, your op or whoever, perhaps maybe like the the copycat, or your counterpart, or somebody that's like that is gang stalking you or in spiritual warfare. They have been tricked. Okay, now they've been bringing to the cops now videos of you, what you're doing, okay, hoping to get you in trouble. Okay, they're filming you. They're trying to get you in trouble. They're trying to dig up dirt on you. Okay, but that's only going to backfire on them because people know they ain't doing nothing. So it's like, well, what are you saying? This person's not doing anything. Okay. So that is where we stand. So that is actually blowing the lid off of it, because now, instead of you being investigated, they're investigating all these people. And now, one by one, they're all falling, all right? So just know, because they're all corrupt hypocrites, okay? Hierophant in reverse. Okay, these are people that were, so used to bribing or, manipulating the system, or, working it to their advantage. Okay, so it's not very difficult to do. It's not very difficult to pay somebody off. Okay, it's not very difficult. Okay, it happens all the time. Okay, it's almost common knowledge. Okay, so it is what it is. So just know they're corrupt hypocrites now, and they're being seen because the wheel is turning. So just know that how much longer do you think you're going to get away with this? Especially like corrupt detectives or judges. How much longer? Okay, because I think you thought for a long time, but you never came up with anyone with our strength. Okay, you did not know what you were coming up against. You thought you were dealing with just a regular same old run-of-the-mill person. But unfortunately, that's the way we want it to be. We want you to think that. Okay? And then when that does happen, then we could also show, okay, all right, this is how strong we really are. Okay, and then really, really, the surprises on their faces are awesome. I just love it. Okay? You don't got to run around telling anybody you're supernatural. Who wants to do that? Doesn't sound right. You sound like a nut, okay? But if you get forced into that position, okay, I'll show you a thing or two, if you like, okay? Because again, we have the strength of 10 men, brother, okay? You must understand that, okay? So that was just under the deck, all right? So there's nobody that's going to match your strength of spirit, okay? You're much too strong. Doesn't matter. You took on an entire community. And what else can they say? What else can anybody say about you besides that's one strong Queen of Cups over there? That's all they can say, all right? Because that's what you are. Very, very strong, okay? And this corrupt hypocrite is, they're being seen for that, being a corrupt hypocrite, okay? Because whatever illusions were created, okay, about you, you were too strong. Your strength outlasted them, okay? And the fact that you were able to outlast them is the reason why you shattered those illusions about you. And that is why this Hierophant now is being seen in reverse as a corrupt hypocrite. Okay, somebody who tries to feel like they're this good person, that there's, stellar of the community, but the fact is they're anything but, while they're doing all types of crazy stuff in the background. So just know, these people are being clearly seen for that, okay? Anybody who is any sort of way, it's going to get seen for that, okay? Especially who knows really going to be seen for it? Queen of Wands in reverse, okay? So just know this is your witch of the deck. Okay, this is who is coming up against you, all right? This is who wants to be you, okay? But they do not have the strength you have. Do not, okay? They did have the corrupt hypocrites backing them, though. Okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse did have a connection with the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, and that's where they felt that they were so powerful. They felt that they were like, well, you'll never be able to come back. Okay, especially we have all these institutional support, and you're all by yourself, right? That's what they thought. But they didn't realize you had the strength of 10 men. Okay, and that is just what it is, brother, because you are the one who's got the largest arms in the world, brother. okay? You must understand, because Eight of Pentacles, you are very diligent, all right? You're passionate. You have high standards. You're an apprentice of two master wizards, okay? You must understand you are here to master your skills, okay? You're not here to, do things half-ass, okay? You're here to work and do it the right way. You're not here to, skip steps. You're not here to take shortcuts, okay? You're not like this Queen of Wands in reverse character, okay? You're not like this corrupt hypocrite who, wants to come off one way. And that's just basically the same thing. This Queen of Wands in reverse is a corrupt hypocrite, okay? This is a person misrepresented themselves. This person was sent to replace you, okay? To, come to your counterpart and make it think like they're the real ones, okay? They don't come off looking like this right away, okay? They're going to come off, regular, even, the cloaked in your energy, but eventually, once you call that energy back, this is what's shown. This is because this is what they are, because they took on something where they didn't really love your counterpart. They only did it just to keep you away from them, okay? That is all this person is. So what else would they be? What else would you call this person? Queen of Wands in reverse, does spell work, does moon magic, is up all night doing crazy stuff. I mean, what else would you call them? You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say about that. Because we're not here to insult nobody, okay? But, I mean, it's pretty obvious what we're looking at here when you're a Queen of Wands in reverse in the environment, too. All right? So this is probably the one who they probably scammed this person into going to the police about you, but now this person's being investigated, and they're like, well, what's this person talking about? And then they're like, oh, down, all they did was thinking they're going to get you in trouble. They thought they were going to get you in jail again first before you put them in jail. Okay, but they only ended up putting their own self in jail by doing this. Okay, because now all they did was earn themselves a 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so whatever they thought they were going to get at your expense, they thought they were going to get this 10 of Pentacles, they were going to get your destiny, they were going to take everything from you. No. All they're getting is the opposite, okay? Because there's nothing but a corrupt hypocrite. And that's what happens to corrupt hypocrites around here. They get dealt with accordingly, brother, because we are all about the lover's energy here, okay? We know that the love, the abundance, the unconditional love creates abundance, okay? So we are not worried about sneaking, taking shortcuts, okay? Because we have the strength to work our way from the bottom to the top, okay? We're not half like a Queen of Wands in reverse where we're going to want to sleep our way to the top, steal our way, do whatever this person does, spell work, fucking witchcraft, it's just, this is not acceptable behavior anymore. This is, you're exposing the feminine energy in the worst ways, okay? And then you want to act like you deserve something. This is all you deserve is a smack in the mouth, open hand, okay? Believe me when I tell you, but don't have to worry about that, because you have to answer to somebody else, much bigger and smarter than me, okay? But just know the lover's energy is here because we had the strength. You had the strength to hold on to this, okay? You could have easily given it up. You could have easily turned bitter. You refused. You said, no. Nobody's going to do this to me. Time's an illusion. You can't. I know I call energy, it all comes back, okay? That is why this new world is coming to an end, okay? Believe me, or this old world is coming to an end. It's all about the new earth now, brother, okay? Because this Queen of Wands in reverse and this corrupt Hierophant, they want to keep this cycle incomplete, okay? They want to keep it going. They want to, we're hoping you made a mistake, made an error, got yourself caught up again, okay? Because this is, like I said, shortcuts, delays. This is what they wanted. They wanted to have, you had no closure, then they wanted to take a shortcut right to, the 10 of Pentacles. But unfortunately, they're getting opposite of that, okay? Because they're getting the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And being seen as a Queen of Wands in reverse and a Hierophant in reverse. So you're clearly showing that there's institutional corruption that's being seen. So, that means people are coming down, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, some big failure there. It's a big financial loss, if you ask me. That's the opposite of the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, but just understand you have a Knight of Cups here, okay? Because your creativity, romantic charm is unprecedented, okay? We all know that's what you're all about, okay? It's a very, very nice atmosphere over here. Knight of Cups, okay? Believe me when I tell you, it's like a knight in shining armor both ways, okay? So just understand, everybody is here to give an even give and take, okay? Because we have the strength to do that, okay? We don't have to do things and lie and cheat and steal and hurt people. We don't do stuff like that, okay? Maybe you Queen of Wands and reverse people would do that, but corrupt hypocrites maybe, but not us. We're an empress, brother. We're a high priestess. Ain't nobody gonna make us. We're uncorruptible. Must understand, okay? Like I just said, we're an empress right here, brother. Right there, I said, we're an empress, we're uncorruptible. There you go, okay? Because we are one strong empress, you are, okay? You must understand. That is so awesome. I love when that happens, when you just say the word and it comes up. Beautiful. Very strong empress you got here, okay? And that person, you know what this empress is? They are the star of the show, bro. They are the one who brings the fun because they are the sun, okay? So just understand, this was what it was all about. They wanted to take this empress's star energy in the worst way, but they were unable. They may have had it for a bit, but it all got called back, okay? And that is why this person is clearly being seen as an empress. A very strong empress strength, okay? Just know. And who came up against you is being seen as nothing but a Queen of Wands in reverse, okay? So, you tell me. You tell me what's going to happen here, okay? How about the tarot tells us? So what are we going to do here about this? So, yeah, you got a strong empress, of course. And now we see you have a corrupt Queen of Wands on the other side, a corrupt, hypocrite, and Ten of Pentacles in reverse, world in reverse energy. Don't sound like things look too good over there, all right? So, but you do have a strong empress sitting right here, okay? And that is you, all right? Because Knight of Swords, because not only are you strong, but you're ambitious, you're action-orientated. You're no joker, okay? You're not here to play games with people. You're here to get things done. You mean business, okay? People deal with you, understand things are going to get done, all right? And people know this because now people that sided with this Queen of Wands in reverse against you, whoever listened to this person, okay? Whoever, took to their promises and thought that they were going to receive something at your expense. Now, unfortunately, these people are in the Five of Cups, okay? They're very regretful, okay? They're down on their luck. They don't know what to do, okay? They knew they made the wrong choice. Oh, what a bad choice. But you would think, right? You would think that the person who has all the corrupt hypocrites around them, all the money, all the family people would be able to defeat this one person. Wouldn't you believe that? So I can't fault these people for not, coming on my side. I am a very, very intelligent individual, okay? Now, there's two ways I could look at this. You could have looked the other way, which I'm okay with, or you could have joined in, all right? The people that have joined in, they're going to have a problem. People who just look the other way, I ain't worried about that because I oftentimes do that, okay? So really was none of your business. So, but if I'm going to be very, very, I know I'm very fair, believe me. We are very fair. This empress is a very fair empress here, okay? Very, very fair. Because, again, you got the Five of Cups here. So these people, they're in like a lot of regret. So whoever came up against you, like I said, Five of Cups, they are in regret, okay? They feel like a failure because they made the wrong choice. But, like I said, who is going to go with one person who's just by themselves, all by themselves, and then you have this Queen of Wands in reverse acting like they're the big shot, okay, coming off like they're, so it's classic, 101, like movie 101, okay? It's like, what did you think was going to happen? You really just thought, like, the bad guy was going to just win? Like, or they thought they were the good guys, okay? They really thought that, okay? But the fact is that you had a King of Pentacles that knew that you were the Empress the whole time, okay? They just went with the flow of the things, and they said, well, everything, the cream will rise to the top, okay? They know the cream of the crop will rise to the top. They said, whatever's meant to happen will happen. This person believes in what's meant for you will always find you. So they knew that we had this karma to clear, all right? And that's what's being done right now, okay? And that's being done, and it is what it is. Anybody can say whatever they want, but that's what's happening, okay? That's why these people are in Five of Cups, because this is now their karma. Their karma is going to have to, live with what they did, and they just built you up. All that energy they put into you, you didn't even do nothing back. You don't have to worry about nothing. They did it to themselves. All you do is sit here and make videos, perhaps, or whatever you do. You know what I mean? Because Page of Swords in reverse, because all the deception, manipulation, all the tactics to make you, gaslight you, maybe, make you think that, you're crazy, or you know, what you're thinking is not true, or blah, 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 that's not real, you know, anything to get your energy. You were deceived one way or another, brother. Okay, so believe me when I tell you, those days of being manipulated are very much over, okay? And that's why, and you know, the reason why is because you're a high priestess, okay? You can't manipulate a high priestess anymore, okay? Not only just, you know, empress high priestess, that is, you know, very strong, strength, knight of swords, very action oriented. You know, this is a very, very, you know, this is somebody else. This is something else, all right? This is one of those people you're like, wow, they exist. Unicorn. That's what that is. Unicorn. All right, but you didn't know all this before. I mean, nobody's going to just come into the earth and say, all right, yeah, I know I have all these spiritual powers. No, just they want to hide it from you because they know. They see your birth chart when you're, whatever's going on in the sky at the time. There's always an astrologer that's marveled by certain stelliums. It always the intense energy of it. So then you're born that energy, and then once other ones go into favorable times, like for me, for instance, Uranus and Gemini is very favorable because I have Mercury and Venus there, okay? So that is very helpful. And then also Cancer, Jupiter, I have the luck in the sun sign. So, I mean, and then not to mention how the original, so it's just, things are looking good. It was the first half, pretty much, was the hard part for us because, you know, that's what it is. I'm an 8th house person. I got, you know, pretty much a 5-planet stellium in the 8th house. So that is pretty much what we have to learn is all 8th house stuff, which is all, it's all the hard stuff, all the stuff that's taboo, okay? It's not easy, all right? Believe me when I tell you, it's a very difficult house when you have to deal with stuff that people don't believe in, magic, sex, transformations, and you're going, this is what it is. You have to go through this. This is how you find what your thing is. That's why knowing your birth chart is so imperative. And that's what I mean. I know a lot about that too. So that's another thing I take a look at. Almost see people, I'm like, listen, when they want to talk to me, I say, no, just give me the birth chart first. Okay, before you even say hello. So no wonder I don't know friends. But just understand, because that's, I'm a fool. That's why I don't have any friends, because I don't care. Because we're not here to make friends, okay? Because if you're here to make friends, that means that you're here to conform to what they're going to want you to do, okay? Because remember, usually people don't want to be friends unless you do what they want to do, okay? That is the way it goes, all right? They are there to, you know, if you're not, like, it's what it is. I mean, why would anybody, that's what they think. A lot of people think that way. And you cannot be controlled. You are not controlled in any way. Nothing can control you because you have no fear, okay? Because you know why you have no fear? Because you got this 10 of cups here, okay? And that's what you build your foundation on, okay? This fool's always going to build his foundation. This foolish empress on a 10 of cups because everything else after that becomes abundance, okay? Because you're action-orientated and you're very strong, okay? And you're, whoever this copycat is being clearly seen as that, as a person that was more or less hired to approach your counterpart, perhaps, on a trip, saying all the right words, twin flame lingo, okay, and then just rolling with it from there, and then just basically saying that you are the evil karmic one, and then just beating you down until now you're back, hold your energy back, now that person. So it's so classic. It's like the classic sleeping with the enemy, you know, line. That's what it is. Sleeping with the enemy. That's what it comes down to. And then your counterpart, they realize it. And then that's where the whole thing comes, and then eventually they see what their error their ways and come back, and that's what happens, okay? And that's exactly what's going to happen, because otherwise we don't really care then, because we know whatever your counterpart decides to do, if they want to stay, if they want, even if they go marry this person, at the end, we don't give a fuck, because we know you're ruining your own life doing that. You're not doing enough to us. We have somebody who loves us right now, so. You know, it's not a big deal to us. We love you to do the right thing, but don't think you're hurting us. You're only going to be hurting yourself. So take that warning. I'm giving you that warning right down. Do not ruin your life thinking that you're going to hurt our feelings, because you're not. We don't care. We know you're miserable without us. We know it. Doesn't make a difference if what you do after that. Okay, Knight of Wands reverse, because whatever, you know, anger towards us or scattered energy or, you know, frustration you feel, that's not going to, you know, work by trying to go towards other people, you know. This is what your counterpart will try to do. They'll try to, you know, get you jealous, or maybe, you know, maybe speak with multiple people, or they'll try to, you know, present themselves in like this really good relationship. But the fact is that's not even true. It's a bogus relationship, and you know it, okay? Because now if you were down and out and you didn't know it, one thing, but you're a straight up high priestess, okay? So they're not going to tell you anything, especially when you know these people, what they're doing behind the scenes, okay? And you know who you are. You know your worth. So nobody's going to tell you anything because you're a fool, brother. You're a very innocent person over here, okay? You ain't looking for trouble, but you know who you are, okay? You're not here, Ten of Wands, to carry no burden for anybody, okay? You're not here to pick up extra responsibility. That's not your gig. But these people from coming up against you saying you are something that you're not, and all that did is bring extra responsibility. Now they got to remember all these stories that they told, and that's when all these different stuff. And then a sharp-minded investigator is clearly going to see that stories don't corroborate. So and that's when everybody's like, wait a second, why is everybody going after this Empress? And then everybody notices it, and it becomes a what's it called, a scandal of sorts. There's be a scandal. You know how desperately people try to prevent scandals, okay? So that is why for a Swords, you should be resting, relaxing, because things might get a little rocky. They might get a little rocky in 2026. So you better just start getting things together, all right? Because that is when your whole life's going to change. Trust me when I tell you, this is the end of it. This is the end. It's a 9-year. Okay? Ace of Swords in reverse. And that's why these people, this Queen of Wands, they were trying so much to confuse you, but the only ones that are confused now are them. The only ones that are, having this, want to rethink their idea or having, some clouded judgment is them, okay? Because this Page of Swords in reverse energy, this deception and manipulation only caused 5 of Cups regret for these, Queen of Wands in reverse and this, Hierophant, this corrupt Hierophant in reverse, okay? And all that led him to was the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And all you did was sit over here as a strong and foolish, action-oriented Empress, okay? Who did not care, 5 of Swords, that these people want to conflict with you. These people want to conflict with you, but it was a one-sided battle, because they basically had conflict with themselves. You never fought back. You never did anything. All you did was just tell them you know what they're doing. That's all we did. Okay, we know you did this. Okay, we know you did that. Okay, we're going to send this back. This is all we do. Okay, and these people will keep coming. They keep coming, too. And things just get worse and worse for them. And then, and then they want to blame you. And people are like, well, what are they doing? What are we doing? What does this, even this video, tell me what this, where any type of evidence of anything this is. What am I doing? I'm just dealing cards and talking. I think a lot of people do that online. Okay, maybe you should look into what they're doing, too. Perhaps maybe this person, they're stalking you here, perhaps, okay? They're looking a little too deep into what you're saying, I tell them. All right, this is only for entertainment purposes, believe me when I tell you, okay? Because we're very positive here. There's no negativity, okay? This Empress is all about being positive because we are the one who bring the fun, because we are the sun, okay? So there ain't nobody that's going to say anything otherwise. Plus, people seeing your strength, because it was put on full display, okay? Seeing how action-orientated you are, ambitious, Knight of Swords, and seeing how you could just remain in full energy, and the universal energy, okay? The energy of just not giving a fuck, okay? Just knowing, being your biggest fan. This is basically what this is, okay? It's like, beat it. I don't need you. We don't need you. You know why we don't need you? Because we are the star, okay? We are the star of the show. We are the one everyone comes to see. We're the show stealer, brother. Believe it when we tell you. And that's why everybody wanted this energy from you. They did everything in their power to get this energy because they said, instead of you getting it, they all came to the thing, we'll all split it. Why should they get all of this? What is this, Empress? They don't deserve it, is what they say. They don't believe you deserve it, even though you're, an Empress in sun energy and sun and full energy, okay? That's very strong. A very strong and positive Empress in full energy. And they say you're not a good person, is what they say. They say you're not a star, you don't deserve that. That's what they say, but guess what we say? We don't give a fuck what you say, okay? Because we call our energy back in our power. We call back our energy in our power. Because this star energy is ours. It's yours. Believe me when I tell you, we are the ones who own this. We're the originators. This is where it came from. They used all this energy to build, okay? They wanted to build all of your back, okay? But you calling that energy back brings them down now, okay? Now they're being seen for what they really are. okay? And that's Queen of Wands in reverse type people, okay? Because you just have to know that Ace of Cups is coming your way because you are a Nine of Cups. You are a wish come true, okay? Nobody's going to ever say otherwise. Your many wishes come true. But once this Ace of Cups comes, that's when you get your Ten of Cups. That is when you get, build your foundation, okay? That's where the abundance comes from, when you build your foundation on a Ten of Cups, okay? Because Ace of Wands is here. You're an inspiration. You got new projects. You got urge to create. You want to do something. You're here. You're here to fulfill your purpose, okay? You're not here to play these games like Queen of Wands in reverses and, degrade yourself and, listen to, whatever they did. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they'll do anything for money, pretty much. Just know that, including doing stuff with their body. So that this person's a disgrace, okay? So just know, we staying in Hermit energy, this Empress staying in Hermit. Look at this. And this is, tell me this ain't us. Empress, Hermit, Fool, Strength, Sun, okay? Knight of Swords, Ace of Cups. So you're going to tell us anything otherwise? Absolutely not, brother. That is exactly who we are, because that is the energy. It's very difficult to stay with that energy, all right? And it's also very, very, very difficult while you're in that energy to be so courageous, too, because you got to remember, you got to stand your ground. These people are coming at you. They're trying to take this energy. They're trying to, cause you to respond. That's why no responses should be your response of choice, because you starve them of the energy, okay? You just stand tall and say, no, nobody's going to come. There's nothing to fear. They can't do anything to you. Okay, you're too powerful anyway. All right, the only one who could beat you is you, and that's by making a silly mistake and responding to something that probably isn't even true or not even real. It's illusions, okay? And that's why you just ignore it and just block them out, okay? Because what's meant for you will always find you. Okay, so whatever Five of Swords these people, they thought they were going to have with you, that's not how it is anymore, okay? They have only conflict with themselves, because they're the ones who created all this nonsense for themselves. They're the ones who wanted to come against you. They thought that you were going to take your star energy. They thought they were all going to share it. Everybody was going to get something, okay? All they had to do is take you on, just you by yourself, okay? All these people. So you had all these dozens and dozens of people that were coming up against you, all getting a piece. Now see you the way you are now, on the top of your game, the best in the business, okay? They see you as, they're really doing, they're very much in Five of Swords with themselves, because they know what is coming with this Ace of Cups, because you are a Nine of Cups, okay, brother? Is this Ten of Cups, okay? Because that is what you're building this foundation on. So the end result of this is you being in this basic, you have to be this Ten of Cups, because where are we going to go from here, all right? So just know everything is going to be headed that way. And now I'm talking quickly, because we're at the 999. It's the end, okay? So it's all going to happen, and it's going to happen in a way that you never seen coming. So just know that is what we're talking about here. So let me astrologically talk to you for a second. These other cards out of the way. That was a pretty good read. I liked it. I thought so. Oh, let's get this. I hate when that happens, because then they all flip over, and you're like, you don't know which one's over. All right, so just know we're in Virgo season right now, okay? So, like I said, things are going to be happening very soon. This is it's coming up, 999 portal, okay? So just understand, the end is near. It's very near, okay? Latest is Libra, okay? And also, you do have a 4-planet stellium in Libra, which makes that also impressive. But just know, the latest that anything's going to happen for you would be in Libra season, 100%. Okay, before you see if you don't see any signs by that time, then something's not right. Because you will see tangible evidence, okay? Because when Neptune also returns to Aries, that'll be a whole other shift to a new start too, because Pisces is the end, Aries is the beginning. It's another, way to go with that. It's another 14-year cycle, okay? Because Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is now in full swing, because that's what was needed. You needed that quick, big shift, okay? And all the generational planets that happened since 2012 now have finally got it to that point, all right? Still a little bit more to do, but people are clearly being seen for what they really are, okay? All these frauds. Everybody's going to be seeing who these frauds. It's all coming out of the wash, okay? People know it. All right, because whatever Scorpio, who was that Queen of Wands in reverse, this person, they thought they were going to replace you. They thought that they were going to, you know, destiny swap. They thought that they were going to take your counterpart. They thought everything was going for their way because they had more support than you. But all this person did was bring all those people down and bring you all the way up. It's almost like they catapulted you into the sky. It's like they all fell on the seesaw, every last one of them, and then boom, they flew you right in the sky, and you were just like boom, became the biggest star I've ever seen. So just understand, these people, it's them, they did it for you. Okay, and this Pisces also helped the Scorpio because they are jealous water signs, okay? Because they know you are the king of the water signs. So, of course, they're going to work together against you. But they know they can never beat you, no matter what. They've tried multiple times. Each time they always lose because the Cancer is the one, brother. They are the one, okay? Because they're the ones who have so much air in their chart that it's unbelievable. So much air. 7 planets of air. They're only made of air and water, this person. They're unbelievable. But just know, Uranus and Gemini for them is very big, okay? That's the final piece of the puzzle. Uranus is a wild card, very unpredictable when it's fused in a particular sign that's, good for you. All right, just understand. Believe me when I tell you, Uranus and Neptune are big, big, big transits. Trust me, okay? Because I'm communicating that to you, okay? And plus, there'll be a Mercury retrogrades of sorts all over the place. So just know you are being communicated with very clearly because, again, like I said, Uranus and Gemini was the final piece of the puzzle, and that is because it's very unpredictable and very, very wild cardish, okay? So just know that is what you're dealing with, and it's coming to a theater near you, okay? It is coming, and you must know. Okay, because like I said, Age of Aquarius is here, brother. You are a rising sign Aquarius, Sagittarius, fire signs back. I'm going to end it on that one because there's really nothing else to say, so I should have ended on that Mercury one. But we're going to end it on the Age of Aquarius one. And then we'll do a little thing here, and then we'll get out of here. I'm going to go for a walk. I think I'm going to go for a walk now. So it says bravery, okay? So there's nobody braver than you, Nine of Wands, okay? So just be. You're asked to make a tough decision that's you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable. But you do have the strength and bravery to make this decision. You will feel so much lighter when you do. This is for you, okay? Counterpart person, this is for your counterpart. Because they need to get the bravery. They're the ones who need the courage. You're the one who already shown your courage. You already did that. So pay attention, though, now. You must pay attention because just because, you're past this point doesn't mean you got to stop paying attention, because you're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you'll be given, both the subtle and the ones that you can't be missed. These signs will help you see the best move forward in order to live your best life, okay? So just know these signs will help you see how the best move forward in order to live your best life. So pay attention to those signs, okay? Because, I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign, okay? I really did too. All right, see you later.